But David Howard Jr. just bit the dust.
People be dropping though?
Yeah, too. So the dropout glitch still exists.
The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway.
26 at Hallmark trying to go 3 wide, no one will let them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine car is taking a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV for tonight's coverage of the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. We're at the Martinsville Speedway for the Sam Maxwell Customs 150, here live on PTR TV tonight, bringing you tonight's action live here on the Paperclip in Virginia is myself, Corey Silva, behind the cameras and in the booth. Also have my colleague Evan Black and Joe Chris behind the scenes helping us out with the quality control. So Evan, we're at the Paperclip here at Martinsville, Virginia. We have a full field of trucks ready and raring to go tonight. What are your thoughts?
This track is one of my favorite on the iRacing service, if I can talk. And it should be a really fun race, a lot of bumper-to-bumper action. Should be really exciting. 36 trucks will be starting tonight, so it's going to be a really big field.
Yeah, we most certainly know how large fields can be here when it comes to short tracks. Obviously, bumping and banging is kind of the name of the game. You're going to see these drivers going for every opportunity, hard braking into the turns, kind of fighting for the inside groove. But with as many trucks as we do have, you may be able to see drivers running side by side here at Martinsville.
Yeah, one big thing about this track, with it only being a half mile, there are no fast repairs. So that's going to be really, these drivers are really going to have to take care of their equipment for this 150 lap race and only a 13 incident limit, so they're really going to have to watch out for that.
Yeah, most certainly, Evan. Well, kind of that leads me into the topic of the race format for those who aren't usually following us here with the ASRS Truck Series. The conditions that we will be under tonight for the race: full fuel load in these Camping World Truck Series machines. As you said, a 13 incident limit. So if you hit the wall, you hit other competitors, which given the confines of the speedway is not out of the realm of possibility. If you have 13 or more, you will be automatically removed from the race, which is going to be something that, of all the races we've had this season, this is probably where they are most concerned about that.
So Corey, with that fuel limit still being at 100%, what are you thinking for fuel mileage? Try about 100 and some laps?
Yeah, I to be honest, Evan, I really don't think fuel's going to be a concern tonight. So I personally think that they can go the whole distance, if not, especially with the cautions I think that we will have, inevitably fuel is not going to be a concern. And tires, to be honest, I'm not even too worried about those either. Track position is going to be vital.
That is a really good point about it with the fuel and tires. Tires will be, they can give you some extra grip and time, but the track position is so important at this track. It's so hard to pass here. So hard to pass cleanly.
Yeah, especially with the track moving up, the groove moving up, you'll have some side-by-side action, so it will be, as you said, a lot harder to get those passes in cleanly, but that is the end of qualifying, so we can bring to you the PTR TV's starting lineup here from the Martinsville Speedway for the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. On tonight's pole with his lap time of 20.368 is Ryan Hartz. We'll offer him our congratulations on that. Mark Cohn on the outside of the front row. In third, we have Alan Young, and then we have Jared Mogard in fourth. In fifth, Chase Bonser. In sixth, Brian Yazik. And then rounding out the top 10 is Brad Cross, Steve Ritter, Nick Curling, and Michael Kudik.
Now Skisi starting in the 11th position with Mark Emerson to his outside. Tom Gianni will be rolling off in 13th. Brendan Chatley to his outside. Raymond Castile will be starting 15th. Andy Veltman to his outside. And then Jordan Harnish, Robbie Baskins, Clarence Bonner, and Brandon Boyd will be rounding out the top 20.
From 21st, you'll find Brett Matthews. 22nd, the 42 of Jim Foose. And 43rd, we have Pete Baskins. And then we have Devin Serra in 24th. Mitch Brown 25th, Sam Maxwell 26th, rounding out your top 30, Ty Young, Andrew Garrels, John Kennedy, and Jordan Ashland.
Nick Kaufman will be rolling off 31st, David Howard Jr. to his outside, Randy McCanney starting in 33rd, Zach Calloway to his outside, and then rounding out the field will be Kevin Mingus, and Tim Knott will be rolling off in 36th.
Yep, so the couple extra drivers in the grid that did not obviously make the show. We do have a couple extra drivers here just in case the field is not full, but again, it'll be a very large field here at the Paperclip in Martinsville, Virginia. Weather conditions tonight that these drivers will be under 65 degrees in the air, about 92 on the track, a light wind from the southwest, and sunny skies here at the Martinsville Speedway. So I don't think grip will be the concern tonight. It is going to be keeping that truck in one piece.
Yeah, and on these starts and restarts with a 36 truck field, by the time the front of the field is coming to get the green, the back end will be about a half lap down already.
Yeah, so you will most certainly need to do what you can to, you gotta be cautiously aggressive, if that makes any sense. You got to keep the truck in one piece, but you also need to do the best you can to stay on the lead lap and stay in good position. And Evan, one thing we didn't talk about either, these restarts in the initial start, you want to be on the inside at least for the first 50 laps while that outside groove is getting worn in.
Yeah, you can run on the outside a little bit if you pinch the guy down where he can't get on the throttle very much. That's the only way you can really run the outside here. After maybe 50, 80 laps, you might see them moving up there, but we'll find out.
Yeah, that all depends how many cautions we do have, if there's enough laps being run under green to rubber in that top groove. So we'll see indeed how that happens, but it'll be one more lap. In fact, we're on the last lap of pacing, so the pace car will pull off into turn number 3. Leader has discretion, so he can go at any point from turn 3 all the way to the green flag at the start of the front straightaway.
Now the pace car is down on the pit road, coming through 3 and 4 now. Leader Ryan Hartz will probably wait till the exit of 4. We will see here. Still waiting, and green flag is in the air. And Ryan Hartz has already cleared the outside lane, so that's a really good start for him.
Yeah, he's not messing around. He is out there to a 2-truck length advantage already. Already cleared is the second place machine right now too. So they come down the back straight. The battle now is for third. Mogard to the inside in the on the outside rather. Alan Young trying to make a pass for the third spot.
Yeah, here we'll see down into turn number 1 and 2. If that 24 dives it down under there, he's going to try, but 00's maybe going to shut the door. Yes, he will. 00 P2.
Yeah, the key to Martinsville Speedway is getting off these corners, so you will see these drivers. You'll see some different tactics, guys driving in really deep. You'll see guys trying to set up the entry to get a better run off, because that is how you're going to make your passes here tonight.
Yeah, now a little bit of a battle for the 4th position. The 55 Brian Yazik trying to get to the back bumper of that 24. Alan Young did a nice job getting out of 2, and here you see the 55 diving it real deep down into the corner, but he is just not getting the exits that 24 is.
We saw, especially, Evan, I saw Chase Bonser in the 83. He really is diving it really hard into the braking zones in these corners here, and that's not giving him the exit. You can see how much Yazik is pulling him down the back straightaway.
And these drivers are going to be coming up on a lap truck here pretty soon. Only about a half the straightaway in front is the 69 of Brett Matthews. So just with how far behind the tail end of the pack is starting.
Oh, actually, I keep calling you Brandon. I'm sorry, I've been working with Brandon so much in the booth lately. He's already a lap down, is the 69 machine of Brett Matthews. I do think he started in the pits, so this will be 2 laps down he will fall to, indeed, if he does lose the spot. Battle going on for 10th position. Nick Curling to the outside. Raymond Castillo in the 84 trying to get a run to the inside, but did
One
not
car
get the
around
run.
the front stretch. Caution is out. Number
Pete
3.
Baskins.
Hard hit on that inside wall.
Yeah, we'll go back on PTR TV replay, see if we can figure out what happened to Pete off of turn number 4.
Looks like the 3 just
someone in the wall.
Loose.
The 13 got into the wall, and that caused huge impact there. Looks like
Baskins was already loose before that 13 got in the wall, I think.
I think Baskins was, if anything, trying to make a harder left to avoid that car, and then when he made that extra hard left, it just broke the truck loose, and we saw what happened from there.
Yeah, hard hit once again from 30 to 03, I believe.
So that
just had nowhere to go.
Yep, so that should end the race most likely for the number 3 of Baskins. We saw some smoke coming out of his engine, so that will most likely end the race. Remember, there are no backup trucks here at the ASRS Truck Series.
So I believe pit road was already open and the leader stayed out, which I would expect them to at this point. They do not want to get back in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, not really too much of a reason to pit at this point. I mean, we usually see at many tracks on the iRacing service that drivers do want to pit pretty much at all costs to get tires whenever you can, but as hard as it is to pass here at Martinsville, I would go as far as say you could stay out on 30-lap old tires and still be more prone to wanting to stay on the speedway.
Yeah, it just all depends on how many people behind you come down pit road, because if you're the leader, even if you run like 70, 80 laps, if you're the leader and the only guy to come down pit road, you're screwed. You're not going to be able to get back up to the front.
Yeah, we've seen
especially with the field this big.
Yeah, we've seen various times in the NASCAR top divisions. We've seen races here at the end that came down to, do you want to pit, do you want to stay out? And we've seen how those turn out. Usually they don't end very well, but if you have enough of a buffer of guys that are on the same strategy as you, typically staying on the track can work for you. But
it's like the 3 of Pete Baskins has gone behind while he is done, as well as the 75 Mark Kahn. Looking to see what happened.
Yeah, already behind the wall are those drivers, so we don't know what happened there, but perhaps we can find out.
Oh, it looks like the 75, he was in second, and he made contact with the 3 that was stopped on the front stretch.
Oh, wow. Remember, it is very easy here at Martinsville to get kind of a situation where the track gets blocked very easily, so maybe that is what happened there, but We are on 1 to go, so we will get this race underway in half a lap.
Yeah, Ryan Hart's still in front, and now the 00 Mogard front row outside as the pace car gets ready to pull down in the pit road. There it goes. Now waiting on Ryan Hart's to get on the throttle. See where he does this time, and there he goes, right out of 4. Green flag back in the air. 24-pound Young, really loose, down on the very bottom of that track.
Yeah, here we are into turn number 1. Mogard taking a look to the inside for the lead. Nothing doing there, but a gaggle of trucks.
Backstretch, caution is out.
Big one here on the back straightaway here. We have the 4 machine has blown up of Kevin Mingus. Who else do we have?
It's like the 13 went around.
We'll go back.
See if there's contact.
Go back here on PTR TV replay, see what we can figure out. Oh, right here, as you said, it was the 13 that went around, Clarence Bonner.
Looks like the 54 was trying to come down to avoid hitting the 44, and the 13 just...
Yeah, they just met in the middle there off turn number 2. And then, as we said, the track gets blocked. You see a couple drivers, just absolutely nothing they can do, but obviously kind of get the short end of the stick there, and second caution of the night.
If these guys can get running for 10-15 laps, that'll make it a lot harder to have cautions, because once everyone gets spread out, it's not going to be as much room for, there's going to be more room for error once they, I don't know, English is hard. I can't figure out the words.
Once we get spread out, it's a lot easier to kind of get into, avoid having cautions.
Exactly.
But we have to get spread out for that to be a thing. And kind of everyone get into their own feel, everyone get a feel of how their trucks are reacting. But we haven't got to that point yet, and it may take a little more work and a little more attrition to get to that point, but we will indeed see what this race gives us in that regard.
So now Steve Buhala going behind the wall. We're going to see if he was caught up in that last incident. Looks like he did not start this race. He did not make the field.
Yep, so here we are, lap number 16. Nothing has changed up front. Ryan Hartz has led every single lap, but Jared Mogard, who's been off to a pretty good season thus far in this series, is in prime position to make something happen. He's in the second spot, gained a couple spots. Then Brian Yazik, always a top contender. See him up front week after week. He is in a pretty good position. Usually he is not one to qualify very well, but he has pulled that off and managed to figure out the hot lap speed at Martinsville, and he's in the third spot, which, in my opinion, Evan, starting third, if you can't be the leader, is kind of the best spot to be in.
Yeah, especially if you can stay right with that second place car and just keep your nose down there and maybe try and get by him. As now the lights are out on the pace car. Field's on the back. Lights are back on.
We have delayed the yellow.
Delayed the green.
That too.
So now the field should be coming to the 1 degree now. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here in a short period of time under yellow, so there is a lot of times that we will have take a little more time to get the field bunched up, but we're ready to go this time by, doubled up, stacked up, ready for green flag racing. Pace car will pull off at the entrance of turn number 3, as it does now, and we will see when Hartz decides to get this race underway. Field bunched up, ready to go. Hartz gets on the lot pedal, green flag back in the air.
Hart's got another nice jump. He's going to clear the 00 for the lead. Now the 55 of 55 of Yazik trying to get underneath Mogard. Contact between Mogard and Hartz for the lead. And it looks like Hartz will once again clear.
Into turn number 1, Mogard gave a shot there, but here comes Yazik trying to get underneath Alan Young, or it might be the other way around. Alan Young trying to get to the outside of him. See what goes on as this battle for third. Both of them driving really deep into the braking zone in turn number 1, nearly into the back of Mogard, but still looks like Yazik may get him off too.
Looks like Yazik will clear that 24. No, not quite, down into turn number 3. Now the 30, I believe that is, right to the back bumper of Yazik, and now Yazik will clear that 24 for the 3rd position.
Looks like throughout the field still some battles going on. We have Steve Ritter trying to get underneath the 62 Nick Curling, who's really high, almost out of the concrete there, which you really don't want to be in here at Martinsville. Entering turn number 3, Ritter to the inside. Looks like he may get the advantage. Kind of washes up the track just a little bit, but Curling's going to get the run on the outside. And now Tom Gianni's in a spot where he needs to figure out where to go.
Curling has cleared for that 7th position, but he ran high once you get through 1 and 2. The 16's right back there. Looks like the 62 will clear again, and now the 16's get back in line.
Tom Gianni right behind this battle, trying to figure out where he needs to go as it has single filed up. We'll see what run he has available to him, but he will stay in line for the time being. Looks like everyone may have finally gotten into their little rhythm here. Looks like everyone's kind of gotten into their own little space. We might be able to see what these drivers are made of now.
Yeah, I think now that they've gotten 5-10 laps under their belt in this run, they should go caution free for a little while. 16 around on the front stretch. No, he saved it. 16 did a really nice job to keep that thing out of the inside wall.
Steve Ritter that was.
He got loose out of 4 trying to keep it off of the 62.
Yeah, he
just
just
hit the inside wall, then he about came back up in front of the field.
Huge wheel spin there from Ritter. Then he almost cut off Harnish, or the other way around, entering the turn. So good bit of driving on all parts there. But
Ryan Hart's pulling back away with a 1 second lead right now over Mogar. Now the 55 of Yazik is trying to get by that 00 for the 2nd position.
Yeah, you can see Yazik really hard on the binders there, entering turn number 1. Kind of run a little bit higher of a groove, perhaps trying to diamond the turn to get that run off of corner exit. Looks like he is maybe a little bit faster. Let's pull up the primetime battle tracker. As they hit the stripe here, we'll see who is indeed the faster of the 2 drivers, and it will go to Yazik by a couple hundredths of a second.
Yeah, not much separating those 2 lap times, but now it looks like Mogar is starting to pull back away just a little bit, but Yazik is really driving in deep into these corners. He's kind of running the 2nd groove and then bringing it down on the exit.
Yeah, he was, like I said, Evan, trying to diamond the turns, I do believe, but I don't think it's working for him on the stopwatch. As you said, Mogard kind of pulling away just a bit. Caution on the speedway. Looks like it's Raymond Castile around on the front straightaway. Let's see what happened to the 84 of Castile.
So you just got loose out of 4.
Yep, that is just a very selfless little spin there. A little bit too hard on the throttle, off corner exit, looped it around, but looks like no harm, no foul.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he hit anything, but now the question will be, did he stay on the lead lap or will he lose one?
It looks like
he did lose a lap, it looks like.
Yep, and that'll bring us down to 24 drivers on the lead lap, and Evan
Ryan Hartz is on pit road. Most of the field coming down pit road, it looks like, but a few drivers staying out. I think staying out's gonna be the right strategy right now. After only, what, around 15 laps, green flag on these tires?
Yeah, there have been a couple heat cycles though, so that may be something to concern about, but it does look like trying to get it to cycle through here. Only the top 6, Evan, are on older tires right now, so we'll pull up our new stint graphic here to see who is indeed in what position and who stayed out. You can see here, since the last pit stop, only drivers that are on the top of the board right now are those 00, the 30, and the 54. We'll wait for scoring to click through. Yes, 5 drivers that have stayed on the track. The freshest tires of those being Devin Serra, who pitted on one of the earlier cautions.
So we'll see how that ends up working out. I don't think it will be too big of an issue for those drivers that did stay out, though. But we will find out.
Yeah, they just may have a little bit of a disadvantage on the throttle, especially coming off the turns. They'll just have to be really careful, and I just don't know if they'll have the forward bite, but it should be enough to hang in there. So indeed, we will see what happens. But still a couple laps of pacing left to go, and looks like we do have 23 drivers on the lead lap at this point, as we've completed 32 of the 150 on the scheduled distance here tonight.
Only 3 drivers have gone behind the wall, it does look like.
Looks like Mark Cohen, Pete Baskins, and Ty Young all behind the wall. A couple drivers many laps down, but still are registered in the session right now. But we are on 1 to go, and Mogard on those older tires will be your leader. He will be the control truck on this restart.
Yeah, pace car ready to pull down into pit road. There it goes now, handing the field over into the hands of that 00 of Jared Mogard. It's now coming out of turn number 4. He is on the throttle. We're back underway here at Martinsville. And Brad Cross did not get going like he needed to, so that 54 of Harnish is going to be right underneath him.
Entering turn number 1 and 2 side by side for a second. You see the gaggle of trucks behind the leader right now as Mogard doing the best he can to pull away. The battle is for second still. Washes up the track.
Almost contact there.
54 washes up the track just a little bit. That gives Brad Cross clear spot for the second position. But in third, Yazik and Harnish side by side. Remember, Yazik on fresher tires. He's going to pass him on the outside.
Yeah, Yazik's got those 30-lap fresher tires, and he easily passed that 54 on the outside.
But
now up there in the third lane is Yazik.
Oh, 20 around Sarah.
20.
Here we go. They're piling in behind him. The 46, 69. Another caution here at Martinsville. We'll go on PTR TV replay and see what happened to Sarah.
It looks like the 60
washed up the track just a little bit in the center.
Washed up and just got into his left rear and his own from there.
Most people got by on the outside, but a couple drivers were stuck to the inside and just didn't have any really way to get around. And
the 20, he's really not too badly damaged though. We'll see. I do believe he did manage to stay on the lead lap. He just lost all his track position.
But Evan, something that we don't have any way to find this out in terms of the broadcaster perspective, but as a conversation point, we've already had a bunch of cautions right now. We are on our 4th. You have to imagine some of these drivers have to be enduring some incident limit concerns.
Yeah, I'd say quite a few of these drivers are, because pretty much every accident we've had, at least one person has gotten at least 4 incidents. So I'd say a lot of these guys are rather concerned about that, especially the mid-pack drivers.
Yeah, where you don't really have much maneuverability. If something is to happen, I mean, you just have to pray for the best that it doesn't happen around you, or that it happens with enough room that you can clear. But at this point, yeah, as you said, these drivers are kind of in a position where they're going to have to be really careful about that.
So now Jared Mogard will have fresh tires starting right behind him with the 55 of Yazik. Or they're not really fresh tires now, but they're fresher.
Yeah, we do have on iRacing heat cycles are modeled in the service, so sometimes that does affect things. Sometimes you do. I've had it happen to me where I was ready and I thought I had a good run and a restart happened, and that next restart I did not have what I had the prior time. So is something that the more times you do stay out there, you do have to kind of take that into consideration.
We'll find out as now the lights are off on the pace car. They'll be coming back to the green this time by.
Here we are with a half a lap away from the green flag. Mogard and Brad Cross on older tires up front. Brian Yazik has the freshest tires. He is in third on the inside groove through 3 and 4, awaiting the 00 to get back on the gas. There he goes, green flag back in the air, out for the jump. Brad Cross did not get going. Here comes Yazik trying to get a move on him.
Almost contact. There is contact between the Yazik and the 30 of Brad Crosses, and now Yazik looking underneath the 30 down the back straightaway, but he's not be close enough. He's going to try and dive it in down into turn number 3. Almost contact.
There's 3 wide back at the field, Evan. I thought there was going to be a wreck later in the field around Sam Maxwell. The 62 curling 14. Everyone does get through just okay, but intense restart action going on. But up front, Mogard is prevailing. Brad Cross in second. Those newer tires rather of Yazik still stuck in third, but watch out for Ryan Hart's trying to get back to the field.
Yeah, Hart's also on those fresher tires. We'll see if he can do anything with Yazik, because now he's backing off, but Yazik looking underneath Cross for that second position. Cross kind of chopping his nose off a little bit out of 2.
Yeah, just kind of running a little bit different lines there. When you kind of drift up in the track, it opens the door for other drivers behind you, but you really have to watch out that you don't cut someone off. So Cross doing a good job in second. Kind of surprising, Evan, that Yazik's kind of being as patient as he is right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Yazik isn't already by him with those 30-lap fresher tires. We'll see if he can get around him here in a few laps.
Looks like the 59 of Hartz is to the back bumper of Yazik, trying to make something happen here, and maybe he, especially being the pole sitter, might have a better chance to get back to the front, but took a little bit of a look there in turn 1, but nothing doing.
Cross got a bit loose out of 2, but it really did not give Yazik as much of a run as what I thought it would have. So Cross is actually starting to pull away from Yazik just a little bit.
Yep, so things have settled, at least for the moment, up front. Looks like everybody in the field has kind of gotten themselves single file for the time being, so we'll see how long this green flag run lasts for, but looks like some action going on. Harnish and Gianni, that is 6th and 7th. Looks like there may be a battle in the works here. You can see, looks like Gianni got a pretty good run through the center of 3 and 4, but kind of had to stop because the 54 did not get nearly as good of a run.
And back up to second, Yazik is now on the outside of Cross out of turn 2. Yazik will clear, so now Ryan Hart's wants to get around that 30.
So a 6/10 of a second deficit is what Yazik needs to try to eliminate if he is going to catch Mogard as we come onto the front straightaway to get lap number 48 to start that. Here comes a big dive from Ryan Hartz to Brad Cross. Nothing doing but trying to make some time up. Also Alan Young in the picture.
Ryan Hart's looking underneath Cross now for the 3rd position down into turn 3. Hart's a little bit loose, entering the corner, swashing up through the center, and Hart's will clear.
Yeah, so now Hart's fresher tires has gotten a 2nd and 3rd, and I'll tell you, they're not really eating too much of a gap into what Jared Mogard has accomplished right now. Actually, just now they are. Looks like Yazik got 2/10 on him last time by as Mogard slides up the track a little bit in 3 and 4. That'll allow Yazik to get a couple more hundredths on him.
Yeah, only about a 1/4 of a second gap now between Yazik and Mogard, and then Ryan Hartz, he's not hanging right with Yazik quite like I thought he would.
You can see the power dives from Yazik entering the turns, and it looks like Mogard's being a lot smoother in the braking zones, and that is allowing him to get the runs off corner exit. We'll go on board with him from the rear bumper, and you can really see the different approaches to corner entry. Actually, that time looks like Yazik kind of held the reins on a little bit more. Got a lot better run. Here he comes. Looks like a little bit of a look underneath, but nothing doing, but he has gained time.
Yeah, Yazik right now to the back bumper of that 00 of Mogard out of 2. Mogard running a little bit higher, but he got a really good run through there and actually gained ground out of 2.
Yeah, it does look like he is working that higher groove. Maybe there is enough going on up there in terms of colder pavement, more grip on the pavement up there, and allowing him to get some better runs. But looks like for the time being, Yazik is kind of holding pace, and looks like he's going to have to hurry up, though, because here comes Ryan Hartz.
Yeah, that lane is actually kind of working for Mogard. Last time by, he was a little bit quicker, but now Brian Yazik right to the back bumper of that 00 machine, diving it down in there, contact.
And he hits
Mogard
him,
saved
slides
it.
him up the track. Big wiggle from Mogard off that contact. Into the lead is Yazik, and here comes Hartz trying to go for second.
Mogard is not going to like that move from that 55. If he ever gets back to him, we'll see if he gets some retaliation.
We're going to go back here on replay and watch that from the blimp cam. You can see here, it looks like Mogard kind of washed up the track a little bit, and into turn number 1. This is the lap that happened. A huge dive in there from Yazik, and I don't think Mogard expected him to be there in that position, but up front, it looks like Hartz has gotten by Mogard, but Mogard's not giving up on the bottom. A little bit of contact. Got him a little bit loose. But he will have to relinquish the position.
So now Mogard back to third. Still, he hung on quite a bit better than I thought he would on those older tires. And he's still not really falling too far off the back corner of that 59. Is now Yazik is going to be coming up on some lap traffic here soon.
Yeah, he will. Drivers will have to do their best to stay on the lead lap. We'll find some other action going on right now. Looks like the 18 of Mitch Brown trying to make a pass underneath David Howard Jr. This is for the 10th spot. Big wiggle from Brown on the throttle there off turn number 4. He's got to watch out for that wheel spin as he falls back in line. But in front of this, we also have some action going on the 54 harness. Tom Gianni, that battle has not ended either. Nick Curling and Sam Maxwell, a big move from the back to the front. This race got himself in the top 10. 4 drivers all going for this spot. That is 6th.
Yeah, Gianni's still right on that back bumper of the 54 machine, and both drivers get a little bit loose out of it too, but the 54 was able to pull away just a little bit now into turn number 3. 44 trying to get to the back bumper on exit. He got a pretty good run on 4.
You can see here from the back bumper of Harnish, here comes Tom Gianni, a little bit of a look, a little bit of a peek to the inside. He'll fall back into line off of corner number 2 down the back straightaway. You can see the jump that Harnish gets, a lot better run exiting the turns, but Gianni really dives it in on the corner entry.
Yeah, Tom Gianni trying to diamond 3 and 4. He really didn't get the run I thought he would have out of 4. I guess just driving in just a little bit too deep, and once again driving deep into 1, as well as that 62 curling.
Here comes Sam Maxwell to the back bumper of the 62, as the 62 did not get off to it all that time. Down the back straightaway, Maxwell is going to take a look to the outside of the racetrack right now. Trying to get to the outside of the 62, has a right rear quarter panel there, but not quite. But it looks like he is completely dedicated to passing on the outside as Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell diving in deep into the outside. His
Caution.
caution's out.
Castile again, and turn number 4, don't back into the middle of the track. He just hit Harnish. Back into the middle of the track, hitting about 4 drivers in the process as Castile was trying to get himself situated.
Yeah, he hit the 13, and then he hit Harnish and the 44.
I kind of missed the initial impact there. I'll try to figure out what happened to him, because he's down the back straightaway right now.
Looks like he just walked up the rears in the 3.
Yeah, he just completely just lost it by himself. You see the 20th Sarah making some evasive maneuvers, but he's outside right now, kind of just waiting for some clear track. But
backed it into the 13.
He
almost into the 24, backed it into the 54.
He had some clear track when he did try to back up, but he just took too much space up, far too much space up when he did back up, and that is going to cause some damage for some drivers. You can see Hartz here as we have pit stops going on. Ryan Hartz barely made it in his pit stall there, the right rear quarter panel sticking out, but the pit stop did go off, and out of pit lane first is going to be Brian Yazik.
Yeah, Ryan Hart's coming out 2nd, Mogard 3rd, then Sam Maxwell will be coming out 4th. Looks like, did Maxwell do a 2-tire stop?
Maxwell did a 2-tire stop, I do believe. He had a 10-second stop on pit lane, so either he's got some magic going on, or I think only 2 tires went for change on that 98 machine.
So we'll see how that plays out for him.
As we approach the halfway point, we're on lap number 65 of 150 here today in the books for the ASRS Truck Series. We can quickly kind of run down the points as they stand. Let's give you the top 5. Tom Gianni is your points leader in the Truck Series right now.
Jared Mogard in second, which it looks like he's about 14 points behind him. Then Randy Makeeng is in third, Danny Rogers in fourth, and Mitchell Brown in fifth.
Yeah, top 10 remainers: Kevin Mingus, Brian Yazik, Jordan Ashland, Skeezy, and Devin Serra. Top 10 separated 36 points off of your leader, so pretty tight confines up front in the point standings. After 3 races, Jared Mogard, Randy Makeeng, and Devin Serra have been the winners in the Truck Series, so we will see indeed if that trend can continue or if we have a new winner here tonight. Yazik's having a good run. Maybe he can sneak one out. Ryan Hartz, or maybe Mogard can repeat, but we still have half the race to figure that out as we get behind the pace car, and we'll see if we can get going this time by. Lights are out. We'll see if it does go green. Everyone's still trying to assemble back up.
Pace car now on pit road, waiting for that 55 of Yazik to get this race back under green flag conditions. There he goes. Hartz did not get going. The 00 Mogard is going to be clear for second before they get to turn 1.
And he has fresher tires this time, does Mogard, so he has exactly what he needs to be able to hang on. We'll see who indeed is the faster of the drivers, whether it's Mogard or Yazik, as we have some 3 wide going on here for about the 6th position. Alan Young, Jordan Hardish, and the 18 of Mitch Brown. Aggressive racing here on the restart, but that does indeed clear out.
So 00 Mogard is all over that back bumper, that 55. Will he try and get a little retaliation for the contact earlier, Corey?
I mean, you never know, but it's a little early for that. He doesn't want to start. Oh, what's going on here up front?
Brian Yazik was black flagged.
Was it a restart violation? Did he jump the restart allegedly, or? Fortunately, that is a game changer, especially at Martinsville. That's going to be at least 2 laps, if not 3. He's going to lose serving a black flag here under green flag conditions. So to the lead is Mogard, but he's going to have the 59 at Ryan Hartz hot on his tail.
Yazik, he changed lanes before the start finish, but I thought that was a
nope, that is
points penalty.
Yeah, we will confirm that sometimes if it's called on the fly or if it's a penalty after the race, but there are strict rules here. We will let the officials make the correct call, so that's a Brad Bake for Yazik. But here we go for the lead. Ryan Hartz to the inside. Jared Mogard to the outside. Mogard way out of the groove here into the Larson lane, which does not work here at Martinsville. So lead change. Ryan Hartz back to P1.
So now Mogard back in second. We'll see if he can hold off that 98 of Maxwell, who is on 2 tires. And Maxwell's got a few trucks behind him, all wanting by.
Yeah, here comes Nick Curling in the 62. We have Alan Young. We saw the aggressive moves from him and a couple other drivers on that restart to gain track position, which he has indeed done. Up front, things have spread out just a little bit, but we do have some action going on later in the field right here. Looks like there was a pass going on. It looks like Jim Foose in the 42 is battling with who is that? The 69 of Brett Matthews, who's gotten back onto the lead lap. You can see the 69.
Yeah, Matthews way up the track.
But it seems to be working. He pulled away from Foose that time by, so these are the last 2 drivers on the lead lap in 16th and 17th as Foose takes it to the inside. Way out of the groove is the 69, so the 42 up 1 spot here. But up front, gaggle of trucks, 3rd, 4th, and 5th going on right now. Maxwell, Young, and Curling. Here comes the 24, Alan Young to the inside, Curling to the outside, all both trying to get by Maxwell on those 2 tires. Looks like, Evan, that Martinsville is becoming a side-by-side capable track as this outside is wearing in.
Yeah, now the 24 of Alan Young through to the 4th position by that 62 of Curling. Now let's see if Young can get by Maxwell. Young has those 2 fresher left side tires.
Well, looks like they will spread out for the time being, so we will see what happens there, but
now just past halfway here at the Martinsville Speedway.
so we have some battles going on. Oh, the 84 Castile exited the pit, nearly hit a couple drivers on the back straightaway, as we have some battles going on off of the lead lap right now. See Tom Gianni, who's a lap down now, trying to get by the 19 machine. I think the 19...
Doesn't look like the 84 was coming out of pit road. It looks like he had a bit of contact.
Yeah, I did see a kind of an erratic move there, so I did maybe want to call an incorrect call out, but did see an erratic move there. But the 19 truck washes pretty high up the track right there in the center of the turn. Chase Bonser gets by, John Kennedy gets by, getting some drivers off of the lead lap at this point in the race.
Now Jason Stewart trying to get by that 19 machine. Jason Stewart in the 11 down on the inside. So now the 19 washes up the track again up there in the third lane. Looks like Stewart, looks like he will clear down the front stretch.
Entering turn number 1 and 2, though, you do know how the outside is capable of hanging on, and the 19 of Andrew Garrels takes that into his favor down the back straightaway, gets a heck of a run, may be able to clear him on the outside if he doesn't get too hot into the turn, but he's going to use that outside to his advantage, and he's going to hang on. Well, what do you know?
Who knew you could run the third lane at Martinsville?
Well, I didn't know that, but that's kind of good news for me, because I do like running that myself. But looks like the 11 of Stewart is back to the inside of the racetrack. Garrel's a little too high. That will allow Stewart to clear it. He has to watch out because the 2 machine trying to fill in that gap.
That 19 still diving on the outside. Got to the air quarter panel of that 11, now dropping back off.
The 2 machine of Zach Calloway is 2 laps off the pace, so no real concern there in terms of track position loss. But kind of to give a little bit of focus back up front for a minute, we see Ryan Hartz is leading, and he is about to catch the tail end of the field. He's up by 9/10 over Mogard, so Hart's kind of in his own little world right now, clicking off the fastest laps on the speedway.
Yeah, Hart's now coming up on that 69 of Matthews. He is the last car on the lead lap in the 16th position.
Just as a reference, last time by, Hartz was the only driver still running in the 21.2, so he is indeed clicking off some mighty fast lap times as he does pass that number 69 machine of Brett Matthews, trying to put 15 trucks on the lead lap, but 69 not going down without a fight.
Yeah, Hart's got a little loose out of 2, now diving into 3, trying to clear that 69, and he will, but Mogard, he kind of brought him back in just a little bit there.
Yeah, lap traffic here is something that indeed can get a lead from of a serious length, get it down to nothing depending how much trouble you do have, but looks like the lead's kind of stabilizing around 7/10 of a second right now.
Yeah, Mogard got a little bit loose out of 2 and lost some of that time.
Looks like we do have a battle going on for the 11th position still. Michael Kunik in the 34 tries to get by Jason Stewart. That battle's going on. Stewart to the inside, actually trying to get by him rather, to the inside. Stewart, caution.
On the front stretch, 41.
Tim Knott.
Tim Knott. Looks like he got turned by the 30.
Yeah, that's Brad Cross in the 30 to the inside, that yellow truck. You see the center of the turn here. Looks like the 30 may have just washed up the track a little bit too much, and that puts the 41 hard into the inside safer area, but he does manage to continue pretty decently, it does appear.
And it looks like the entire field coming down pit road now. Most of it at least. Brad Cross will be the first driver staying out.
On 26 lap old Goodyear Eagle, so that is a risky call, but and Evan, you have to think at this point in the race where we are over halfway, 60 laps to go, which is not that much time as we know at Martinsville, you kind of have to think about your long-term strategy, and obviously we know we're not...
And Cross coming down pit road now.
Yeah, obviously we know we're not done with yellow flags yet, so you almost have to kind of decide if a caution comes out, let's say in 10, 15 lap cycles, which ones do you pit on and which ones do you stay out on?
It's kind of hard to decide when to do that because you do not know when the cautions are going to fall.
Because you don't want to get stuck in the back on fresher tires if everybody else stays out, but at the same time, you don't want to lose an opportunity to take tires and then bite yourself in the foot on that regard too. But that is the strategy, that is the battle of racing.
Looks like quite a few drivers taking the wave around, trying to get one lap back. This Ryan Hartz did win the race off of pit road. Mogard will still be in the second position.
Yeah, an amazing amount of drivers that are ahead of Ryan Hartz right now. You can see here how many trucks are ahead of him right now. It looks like there's at least...
Looks like there's 6 trucks taking the wave around.
So all these drivers...
One dropping off now.
All of these drivers will get one lap back at the expense of not being able to get fresh tires, so they will have to hope that they can hang on for as long as they can, whether that be till the end of the race, whether that just be till another caution, but looks like that is one to go, so those drivers will have to speed around the racetrack as fast as they can to get caught up, as we will get doubled up, stacked up, and ready for the restart.
Ryan Hart still will be on the front row inside. Jeremy Mogart once again front row outside as the pace car is trying to pull down on the pit road. And there it goes. Now waiting on Ryan Hartz to get back on the throttle. There it is, and Mogart stayed side by side with him. They're going to be side by side still down into turn 1.
And he had the lead at the stripe right there. We'll have to hope that there wasn't any kind of black flag for that, but down the back straightaway, we're side by side for the lead here at Martinsville.
Mogart fighting hard to stay on the outside of that 59 of Hartz, but he got a little bit high through 3 and 4. I don't think he's able to pinch that quite enough, and he still got a pretty good run out of 4.
Into turn number 1 and 2, right around the yellow curb is the number 59 of Ryan Hartz. He will clear for the lead, but he won't get a good run off of turn number 2. That's going to open the door for Mogart to take a run to the inside, but that run is very short-lived, so looks like the lead battle has completed itself, and Ryan Hartz will hang on for now. But side by side we are for 6th position. Andrew Garrels and Robbie Baskins side by side right now. 46 to the inside, Garrels to the outside. Contact off a 2.
Baskins saves it.
And then behind this, Brad Cross and John Kennedy, and also here comes Jason Stewart diving underneath Kennedy as he got way too high on the racetrack, but Kennedy will hold on to that position. And Jason Stewart will have to hang on as Devin Serra takes a look to the inside. 2 championship contenders from last season battling here.
So now Stewart all high through 3 and 4, locked up the rear tires just a little bit, and now the 20 of Serra underneath him down the front stretch, but Stewart will clear down into turn 1. Serra diving in deep once again.
Yeah, Serra will finally clear for the position down the back straightaway this time by. That will put him into the top 10 right now, and kind of focus up front for just a little bit. You can see that Hartz has pulled away by about half a second over Mogart at the moment. 84 Castile exiting pit lane. He's not really had too great of a race, but trying to salvage the best finish he can. You can see here entering turn number 3 and 4, Castile will merge in right behind this battle. We were watching a little bit of contact between Castile and Kennedy almost there off turn number 4. But here comes the 46 of Andrew
Contact 89 around out of turn 2. Got straightened back out.
And I think Castile just hit his incident limit. I did see a disappearance.
Yes, he did.
So we'll go back on PTR replay yet again. See, we're on the front straightaway here. If 84, who was multiple laps down to the inside, dives it in deep. 89 washes up the track, and as the 89 maybe try to diamond the turn, cut back to the inside. 84 in the left rear quarter panel. I would take that more as a a racing deal, if you will, but it put the 84 out of the race on the incident clock.
The instant clock.
Incident counter, clock, device, limit.
The incident thing.
Incident thing wouldn't work. It's not scientific enough.
Yes, it is.
So
Well, it looks like about 10th on back came down pit road. But they only ran about 6 laps there.
So we will do the best we can right now to give you a quick top 15 rundown. I don't think we'll have time for much more than that. So right now, Ryan Hartz is your leader, leading 57 of the 102 laps on the board tonight. Jared Mogard in second. We have Nick Curling in third. Alan Young in fourth. Mitch Brown in fifth. Robbie Baskins in sixth. Brad Cross seventh. Devin Serra is in eighth. Sam Maxwell running ninth. Andrew Garrels in the top 10. They're running at your top 15 right now. Tim Knott in 11th, Jason Stewart in 12th, John Kennedy 13th, Michael Koenig at 14th, and Jim Foose rounding out the top 15. Here we are, lap 103. We've had 7 cautions for 31 laps tonight and 9 lead changes at this point in the race. 47 laps to go. It'll be 46 at the stripe. This race very quickly coming to a close.
So on this restart, do you think Mogart will be able to hang on like he did last time?
I think Hart's learned, I mean, obviously when you're the leader, you kind of learn every time you do a restart what you did and what worked, what you did and what didn't, and I don't expect Hart's to have a similar time to restart. I think he's going to have to change things up because that did not work for him last time. So to answer your question, I think Hart's is going to get a much better start.
Yeah, Hartz has changed up pretty much every single time. He's gone at a different time. So now lights should be off. Yes, they are. So Ryan Hart's back inside on the front row, and Mogart's still outside front row.
Having a little bit early, but take your pick.
I'm going to go with Mogart.
Well, I'm going to go with Nick Curling. I'm going to go a little... Gotta go for a little bit of a risky pick. They're not risky, but kind of unexpected pick. But we'll go with a 62 machine of Curling for my pick here. Put yours in chat. Here we come off turns number 3 and 4, and on the loud pedal is Ryan Hartz. We're back racing at Martinsville.
And Mogart got a pretty good start. He's not going to hang side by side. Contact. 24 Alan Young way up the hill. They all keep it straight.
Now they're going to gaggle of trucks entering turn number 3 here at Martinsville. Alan Young all the way back to 7th. Contact with him.
24 keeps it straight still.
Out off the bumper of Andrew Garrels in the 19 machine. Alan Young.
24 is just getting beat up.
Yeah, he is a pinball right now. He now has to deal with Sam Maxwell, who's to his outside. Entering turn number 3, you can see here Maxwell to the outside, pinching the 24, trying to get that run. They remain side by side, door-to-door racing at Martinsville. This is for the 11th, rather the 9th and 10th positions.
Now looks like Young getting a little loose out of turn number 2. Maxwell, he might clear down into 3. No, he will not. 24 still holding strong in that inside. Well, looks like Maxwell will clear out of 4 and down the front stretch.
So that battle has another caution.
Caution.
John Kennedy, very slow.
83. Looks like...
Let's see
looks like
here.
the 83 just came up into the 89. They were 3 wide there out of turn number 4. And I don't think Chase Bonzer knew they were 3 wide.
Yeah, that was a very light bit of contact there, but enough to spin the 89 around, put him in the fence, and bring out yet another caution here at Martinsville.
So what do you do now? Do you stay out? Do you pit? It's like
I think you
most of the field's staying out.
Now this is kind of a difficult position for your leaders. They have been out for 20 laps. If this does go green, that's going to be about 6, if it goes green, but they're running out of cautions to pit on because you're not going to want to pit on a late caution because nobody else is going to come with you, and you're going to have to come all the way from the back.
I think this caution just now was your last chance to pit. I think you're going to have to stay out from here on out. But I've been wrong a lot. So we will find out.
We have 19, with all these cautions, I think we have actually 16 drivers on the lead lap right now. We'll see if one gets waved around, or I don't see any waved around, so we should have 16. So, I mean, if we're running basically 10 lap stints, if even that, how many trucks do you think you can realistically pass in 10 laps, even if you have fresher tires?
Not many.
Maybe 3 or 4 if you're really on the money.
And it depends on how aggressive you want to be.
It depends who you're passing.
Because if you only want to pass cleanly and don't want to touch them or anything, that's going to really bring that number down. But if you're okay with a little bit of contact, then you could pass quite a few cars probably.
And if you're passing someone such as a Hartz or a Mogard who's been up front and quick all race long, even on older tires, they're still going to be difficult drivers to pass. So you may only be doing that with aggressive means.
But Brian Yazik will now be back on the lead lap in the 16th position.
Remember, Yazik had a penalty earlier in the race, a lane change violation. He led 15 laps earlier in the race. He may have probably hoping to at least salvage top 10 out of this for Yazik.
Which it looks like he will actually be in 15th, so he very well could get a top 10 out of this.
And we already saw at least one driver fall victim to the incident limit here at Martinsville. We saw the 84 get removed from the race on those terms. So again, you never know. We don't know exactly. We have no way to track it, but we don't know what these other drivers are experiencing. I would not be surprised if somebody else falls through on that.
But lights red on the pace car will be coming to the green this time. Space car pulls down in the pit road, handing the field back into the hands of the 59 of Ryan Hartz. It seems like this has been the front row a lot of this race, and now Hartz on the throttle. Mogart still getting pretty good jump. It's going to be, he might be able to dive it in there on his outside down into turns number 1 and 2.
Not quite. He will fall back in the line behind the 59 of Ryan Hartz. 18 machine of Mitch Brown has himself up to the 3rd position at this point in the race, so we'll see if he can do anything with these top 2. But Ryan Hartz, if he can manage to run 5 or 6 laps, he has been able to pull away. We'll see if that does happen this time. But big gaggle of trucks going on right now, Evan. They're 2 by 2 for about 3 rows deep right now, all the way from Andrew Garrels back to almost Tom Gianni. So some tight, hectic racing here. You can see 3 and 4. Here they are, almost 3 wide.
3 wide. It's not going to work out.
Almost contact with the 24 and the 44. The 24, remember, he was a pinball on the last restart. Garrels washes up the track. Alan Young up the track a little bit. Looks like they will fall back into place a little bit, but still side by side is the 19 and the 44. Gianni and Garrels.
Garrels once again going up the hill just a little bit too much. So it's going to allow the 44 to get by. Now the 24 is going to try and get by.
Oh, Garrels all the way to the top of the racetrack there in turn number 1, dove to the 3rd groove, but that battle will single file out for the time being. Jim Foose up there too, but making himself back in good position in the 12th spot, try to get on this battle.
Jim Foose looking underneath that 19 of Garrels down into turn number 1. Garrels running high once again. He's running up there a lot this race.
Yeah, trying to make that top of the racetrack work. Here comes Foose to the inside as there's a side-by-side battle going on. Foose kind of doors above the track a little bit, trying to do 8 wheels is better than 4. Doesn't really get the run, but they still are side-by-side. As we have another side-by-side battle going on up a little bit further up. The 46 machine, Robbie Baskins, Tom Gianni side-by-side. It's, again, Alan Young kind of stuck behind this, waiting for something to happen as well.
And that looks like the 44 might clear down the front stretch. Nope, the 46 is going to get the run out of 4 by running that higher lane. Now down in turn 1, contact, 46 is going to go around.
Oh, he's gone.
That's his incident limit.
That's his
no caution. Because he got DQ'd, there was no caution for that.
He got removed from the race before the caution was able to trigger, so we will stay green. That is the second one that has bit the dust, at least that we were able to track here tonight. So, but back to the lead, and Hartz is kind of just showing him who's boss yet again, out to about 0.8 of a second already. And just as reference, and we were talking about those fresh tires, bring up our stint graphic yet again. You can see the driver with the freshest tires up front is Tom Gianni, and he's only in the 8th position, quite a ways back.
Yeah, he's only got about 11 lap fresher tires, so it's not going to make a huge difference right now. But do you think we'll have enough caution? Do you think it'll go green? What do you think? Well,
I mean, Evan, as I kind of sift through the field here a little bit, this is the most spread out that this field has been, as you can kind of see here from the blip cam at Martinsville as we circle this paperclip track. Everyone's kind of spread out. There are a couple battles going on, but everybody kind of is in their own little zone right now.
Yeah, with only 14 cars on the lead lap. Yeah, looks like Sarah has cleared for that 5th position, but the 62 of Curling driving in deep into the outside lane, down into turns number 1 and 2, and Sarah still cannot clear.
Yeah, this is still side by side. The outside at Martinsville really starting to work, but you can't get that high, or can you? Curling got a little bit too out of the groove there, had to give up the position to Sarah, so back into the top 5 is the number 20, and Sam Maxwell there to pounce as well.
Hartz is still running the fastest lap times of anyone really in the top 15. So he's really got no competition right now unless caution comes out.
Of the top 5 drivers, at the very least, that last time by, he was 8/1000ths faster than Mogard. And of those drivers, Devin Serra, the only one really within reach of those drivers. But remember, he is all the way back in 5th, about 5 seconds off the lead.
But we could see a caution. He's only got about 22 laps to go. But we could most definitely still have a caution.
The iRacing cutoff lap is about 5 laps to go. Could be about 4 laps to go on a short track under ideal conditions, but still about 5 laps to go. If there's a caution within that time frame, this race most likely will end behind the pace car, but hopefully we do not have that happen. Still going on is the battle between Curling and Maxwell for the 6th spot. Maxwell did take a little bit of a peek to the inside, but nothing doing this time by. He'll fall back into line. Alan Young trying to close in on this battle, as well as is Tom Gianni right behind them.
Yeah, Gianni is all over the back number of that 98 of Maxwell. See if Gianni can do anything to get by that 98. Is now the 62 sliding up the track just a little bit. The 98's going to try and get underneath him down the backstretch.
You can see the big dive from Maxwell, takes a look to the outside groove. That's going to open the door for Gianni, maybe to have a peek to the inside groove, but not close enough to make anything happen. But you can see here, I think Maxwell is just trying to size up the 62, try to figure out where he's faster and try to make that pass cleanly.
So now the 62 sliding way up that racetrack. 98 getting loose out of 4. 62 is really running quite a bit higher than everyone else in this field.
Yeah, it's working for him, so got to keep it up. But this is bringing the 44 of Gianni and even the 24 into the mix of Alan Young. So all these drivers going on for the 6th position at this point as the laps tick away. Only 17 laps to go in the race.
62 got a bit loose down into turns number 1 and 2, and now the 98 of Maxwell. 62 in the wall. He's going to lose at least 2 spots there.
Yeah, indeed. See if Alan Young can fill in the gap there as it is open. He's in the 2nd lane. The bottom lane is open, but he will not be able to fill it in. So Curling drops back to the 8th spot. Remember, he was in 3rd a couple of restarts ago. All the way to the top of Gianni. Maybe trying to get to the outside of Gianni, but not able to do so.
Gianni's still clear of that 62s. Now the 62 driving in deep down into turns number 3 and 4. Gianni's sliding up the track. Now the 24 underneath that 62.
This is Alan Young. Remember the pinball that 24 machine has been here tonight. Looks like the retro, almost Jack Sprague era Camping World truck that he is racing here tonight. Entering turn number 3, side by side, trying to dive in deeper on the inside, make it stick. Looks like he will get a good run off of 4, pull door to door, but not really get an advantage.
See, down into turn number 1, who will have the advantage? 24 now does, and looks like it might go back to the 62. No, not quite. Still going to be side by side down the back straightaway. 24 has the edge going into turn number 3.
I think it's just fantastic of it. I haven't seen Martinsville this side-by-side capable in quite some time. So this is a really good thing to see, a really good race to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Now it's 62 way up the track and cutting down on exit to pinch down that 24. Giving that 62 a pretty good run down the back stretch now into turn number 3. 24 diving in deep into that corner.
And also Curling doing a pretty good job not to overdrive the entry, which is pretty easy to do on the outside groove. Maybe wash up a little bit too high. And I mean, with only 12 laps to go, only a matter of time, do you think, before Alan Young just kind of makes that pass complete?
We'll see. I would kind of expect him to do it here soon. But it looks like he may not have to, as he got a pretty good run out of 4, but still the 62 just hanging at his door number.
Yeah, doing an absolutely phenomenal job. A phenomenal job is the 62 of Curling on that outside groove. You're not missing anything up front. Hartz is up to a 1-second lead. Looks like Young tried to drive him up the track a little bit, but he got loose off of 4, and he's going to have to recoup all of that time, and he only has 10 laps to do it.
Now he's going to have Brian Yazek in the 10th position trying to get around him.
But up front we go yet again, and don't want to take any credit away from the leader and the phenomenal job that Ryan Hartz has done here tonight at Martinsville. Leading 97 laps. It'll be about 106 if he's able to complete the last 6 around the circuit up front, up to a 1.1 second lead. And we've seen Ryan Hartz in various races here on PTR TV. We see him in the Hardline Racing League. We've seen him lead many a race, dominate many a race, but in our time, I don't think we've seen him win, so it'll be nice for him to be able to kind of break that curse and finally take one home.
Yeah, he's been close in both the Hardline Racing League as well as this league of the ASRS series. But he just hasn't been able to get one done, at least in the time that we've been broadcasting him.
As he's getting through a little bit of traffic here, the lead over 1 second now over Mogard. Caution! I think we said that in unison, but looks like it was the 60 of Brandon Boyd. And what do you do now? You
stay out and you drive as hard as you can.
Well, this is almost, as we kind of call this caution, you see the 60 of Boyd just too much throttle off of 4, got a little bit loose, kind of a little bit of a half spin on the front straightaway. And we're gonna have a green-white checker. And this is, you can see the indecision here. Who's gonna pit? Is anybody? There's gotta be someone that's gonna pit.
And this is gonna be so hard to restart on old tires. You're gonna get so much wheel spin coming out of the corner.
Going through the field, everybody, even those, only one up on the lead lap that I see that pitted is
like
Andrew.
19 of Garrels, yeah.
Now, wouldn't you have expected it, Evan? I'm sorry, why do I keep saying that?
It's been like a week since I've been in the booth.
Wouldn't you have expected that maybe 7th on back? I mean, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, I would think if you're not in the top 5, you have to pit. I would think, at least.
I mean, let's go back to how many races did Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson stay out on a green-white checker? Everybody else pitted, and I mean, that never worked out favorably. I mean, I didn't expect that much of a drastic change, but I'm very surprised that everybody stayed on the track. Unless they don't expect this to go green. Remember, in the ASRS rulebook, there is no one-lap shootouts. So, and maybe they
should get 2 to green this time.
So we are expecting a green-white checker, but if it does come down to a one-lap shootout, it will not actually happen. The race will be extended on the caution, and it will finish under the pace, under pacing conditions.
Well, let's see. Lights are still on. I think this race is over.
So the drivers were smarter than the broadcasters in that regard. Unfortunately, we did not get back green, and I think it technically will be a one-lap shootout, but per the rule book, the race should not continue and allow that one-lap shootout. As much as we would love to see it, we can understand why the sanction has decided to not allow that to happen. A lot of times it does cause more carnage than it is indeed worth, so.
We'll see. Lights are up. We'll see if they delay it. Yep,
There.
it has been delayed. So this race is over. Ryan Hartz will be your victor.
So a dominating performance by the 59 machine ends behind the pace car, but as long as he can navigate 1.5 more laps at 40 miles an hour here at Martinsville, he will take the crown in the ASRS Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series here tonight. Another good run for Mogard here, just kind of solidifying his place in the championship standing, showing that he is ready to give the best fight he can, as he is in second in the standings, Tom Gianni in 7th, so he will gain a good amount of points in the standings tonight, is Mogard. Then a couple other good runs. Mitch Brown, he's 5th in the point standings, so that is a good run for him.
Brown started back in the 25th position. Devin Sarah with the top 5. Sam Maxwell started back in 26th, and he's going to finish in the 6th position.
But at 45 miles an hour, we will exit turn number 4, and in an absolutely dominating fashion, Ryan Hartz from the pole will take the checkered flag. Ryan Hartz wins the Sam Maxwell Customs 150. Jared Mogard in 2nd, Mitch Brown in 3rd. That is the top 3 here tonight. We want to congratulate the 59 on his dominating performance here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway, so stay tuned. We'll be back for the post-race show here on PTR TV, so be sure to stay with us.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and
And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show. We're going to have some post-race interviews here for you, talking to the top 3 drivers. Still waiting on the winner to come into the booth with us, but hopefully he'll make it in time. So we will start tonight's interviews per a little bit of a request. We're going to do second place first. Evan's going to talk to second place Jared Mogard.
So, Jared, you come home with the second place finish here tonight at Martinsville. What are your thoughts after this race?
Second place, clean racetrack. We're gonna take it and run.
Yeah, we saw quite a few cautions there, especially at the beginning of this race. Did you expect it to go green, or do you kind of think there's going to be some wrecks like there was?
Yeah, typical Martinsville with 32 trucks. I figured there'd be quite a few yellows. Had a couple decent runs, so all in all, it was a good race. We had nothing for Ryan. He was class of the field all night, so hats off to him. Yeah, second place, clean. We're gonna take it for sure.
Do you think if this race did get restarted, do you think you would have had anything for Ryan?
It's hard to say. On fresh tires, I could kind of hold that outside for a lap or two, but being on low tires, I don't know if he probably would have got me, but I don't know. It would have been fun either way, but I think he still has us. He had the preferred lineup.
Alright, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, I got to thank my sponsors, Twitch Race Reports, Common Racing Graphics, and all you guys for doing the broadcast, Jim for the league, and got to give a shout out to his family and his cousin who is not doing so well against cancer. So thinking about them and everybody else that makes this deal go on, Sam Maxwell and all the sponsors and everybody that was possible.
Alright, well, once again, congrats on your second place finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.
And now I will once again talk to the third place finisher, Mitch Brown. So, Mitch, you came up with a third place finish after starting a little further back in the pack, 25th. What was it like getting up through there?
It was a little chaotic, but our goal coming into the race was just to ride around the first half of the race, but a lot of cautions early on in the race kind of made it easier to get to the pack.
Did you have much contact getting through there? Looks like your truck was fairly clean.
I had 1-0X set. That was it. Other than that, clean.
That's pretty good for Martinsville getting up through there, especially starting in the middle, kind of back of the pack. Did you think if this thing got back underway that you would have anything for Ryan or Mogard?
I don't think I would have had anything for the top 2 up front. I was just, you know, once we got on that green flag run, I was just holding on for dear life to keep third, and granted I pulled away from Brad behind me, so you know, maybe if we had a last lap shootout, you know, maybe I would have had something, but you know, I'm just happy to walk out of here with a clean truck with not even the paint rubbed off of it, and in third place.
How are the trucks handling out there? We saw a lot of guys loose off the corners, especially out of 4. What was it like out there?
I got for me, it seemed like I got pretty loose. It was loose off the corner early in the run, so I just had to take it easier, coming back on the throttle, coming off the corner. But yeah, it's a dump truck to say the least.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
I just want to thank the guys at Alpha Tango Racing for letting me join their team this year. You guys on Primetime Racing TV for putting on this broadcast, and every single broadcast on for ASRS. You guys do a great job, and Jim Foose putting on a great league here.
All right, congrats on your third place finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, guys.
And now, Corey, we'll talk to your winner here tonight, Ryan Hartz.
All right, Ryan, we've watched you in the Hardline Racing League. We've watched you here on ASRS, and you've won a lot of races, but haven't been able to close the finish and take it to victory lane, but you're able to do so tonight. Talk about your race and ultimately how it went there for you tonight at the Paperclip.
Oh, man, that was about the most fun I've ever had at that place, but what a great race car. What a great truck I had tonight. I was up in top 3 most of the night. I think I dropped back to around 7th because of the first pit stop, but I made my way back up there. But you know, for me being I don't have any teammates, you know, to come out here and I think I led most laps and put on a dominance like that just means a lot. And that's actually my first league race win in iRacing, so it definitely means a lot.
Yeah, you did an excellent job, and you were up front the majority of the race. I think you led just over 100 laps. So talk about how this track progressed. We saw a lot more side-by-side racing than I was expecting, but I mean, obviously you didn't get to see too much of that, but you're being up front. But how did you vary your lineup at all, or did you have any adjustments in that regard, or were you kind of solid to where you were running?
Yeah, like you said, I wasn't really side-by-side with a lot of people in this race. I was most of the time in the lead, but when I was behind Brian Yazik and Jared, they were like entering high and they were pulling on me off the corner, and I tried that, but I just got so sideways off the corner, so I just stuck to my own line, entering low and trying to hit the brakes enough to enter it and exit lower. So it worked out, but for some reason, like, the truck handled so good on that last run. Like the last 30 laps, I could stick the bottom no problem, and I mean, I was shaking the whole time, but the truck still handled really good.
Yeah, you did an excellent job, and you obviously kind of avoided most of the carnage being up front, where it's a lot easier to deal with all that kind of stuff. So you take home the victory tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I want to thank Jim. You know, he put up with a lot of the arguing tonight, and if I was him, you know, I'd freak out about all the arguing tonight. But definitely want to thank Jim. Definitely want to thank you guys for hosting this.
All right, not a problem, man. Again, congrats on the victory tonight. Hopefully we'll talk to you in the future.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, so that is the post-race show here tonight at Martinsville. So we will wrap up coverage with the final results from the Martinsville Speedway. With the victory tonight, as we just spoke to, was Ryan Hartz in the 59. Dominating performance from Ryan, and congrats to him on the victory. And then we had Jared Mogard in second. Mitch Brown finished third, Brad Cross fourth, Devin Serra in fifth, and then rounding out the top 10, Sam Maxwell, Tom Gianni, Nick Curling, Alan Young, and Brian Yazik.
And then Jim Foose finishing in the 11th position, Jason Stewart in 12th, Andrew Garrels in 13th, John Kennedy in 14th, Chase Bonzer in 15th. Then rounding out the top 20 is Brandon Boyd, Tim Knott, David Howard Jr., Scott Hauer, and Randy McKinney.
So it wouldn't be a broadcast without our channel sponsors. We want to thank them for their support of the channel through our growth here on PTR TV, helping us out along the way. We have Movement Fabrications, is a family-run business formerly established in 2012, over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry with a wide variety of services, including ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, check them out. Movement Fabrications is the service to trust. Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Krutz Custom Graphics is the motorsports design specialist. Overlays from iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics coding and theme design for the two main overlay systems on iRacing, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're looking for a custom set of overlays to make your broadcast channel shine, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. We didn't get to utilize them tonight, but quick shout out to our camera specialist, Track Cams for Gourmets. He does provide the cameras for the majority of the broadcast on iRacing. Still working on a couple tracks he does not have. He is working on Martinsville, and when he does, I'm sure they will be fantastic cameras. And of course, check out our Patreon if you want to contribute to the channel. You can always check us out, patreon.com/PTRTV. There are various tiers of donations you can do, and there are rewards behind each one. So again, check that out. But that is another broadcast here on PTR TV. We brought you the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series here at Martinsville. Stay tuned on Thursday night for the Rivalry Racing League. We will be bringing you the Hardline Racing League soon. And stay tuned Monday nights for the Racer's Mind, our new segment here, our discussion show. Stay tuned to that. If you like that, you want to submit any ideas and maybe be a guest on it, let us know. A new show. We are very looking forward to bringing that to you. Signing out of the booth is Corey Silva and Evan Black. Have a great night, everyone, and we will catch you next time.
Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.